Good afternoon. It is such a pleasure to be here with all of you today at a live event in another country, something which seemed so alien just months ago. So, today I'd like to talk about liberalizing innovation and accelerating delivery. Delivery of said innovation, but also delivery of the basics of features, applications, integrations, change. And that's because we need to get better at both. But before I start that, I would like to share with all of you here today an idea that I had 9 years ago. And it was an idea that I believed in enough to try and deliver, take time out of paid work to innovate. And on the very next slide, I will show you that idea. Here you have it. Just Join In. Just Join In was to be a site that connects users with physical activities. But those physical activities would be tailored to what the user was looking for out of fitness, whether to lose weight, build muscle by going to a gym, socialize through sports. Think Expedia, but for fitness. However, what you see here on screen today, that's as far as I ever got with it. I failed to bridge the gap between an idea and its realization. And I mainly failed because I couldn't build it myself. I can't code. And therefore, I couldn't build the features, the functionality required to bring Just Join In to life. I wasn't digitally empowered enough. And there were no tools or innovation to help me either. And I bring this up because this rings true today, 9 years later in gaming. We are really limited by who can actually innovate, who can actually deliver change, ultimately, who can build. And because of this, we're often quite slow at it, more often than not quite expensive. And yet, the world outside of ours, outside of gaming, it does all it can to empower more, to do more, to enable you and I to act on ideas at speed. Some examples to really highlight this. IKEA. IKEA delivers a universal toolkit that allows you and I to populate our offices, homes, with furniture that we can all build at speed and relatively low cost. Ultimately, it empowers us to build. And thanks to Amazon, if you wanted to be a global distributor of goods with a complete fulfillment service, they empower the everybody to do that overnight without having to invest in a single shop front, member of staff, even visit a country you're going to sell in. They enable you to react to change, to trends. Think of the number of mask sellers that appeared 18 months ago, having never sold a mask before in their lives. Amazon empowers you to think, react, and ultimately monetize. And yet, the ability to build at speed, quickly react to change or trends, tools for self-empowerment, a universal toolkit, is non-existent in our space. It's not ideas that we lack. It's just the ability to deliver them efficiently. We are held back by an over-reliance on legacy systems, often legacy processes like these roadmaps that you're forced to put any change, any idea, any innovation falls to the top of one of these. And they're driven by legacy mentalities. It's these same mentalities that have built high walls around our companies, blocked the sharing of best practice. And this needs to change. And it needs to change soon. We are in the middle of a digital revolution. And other verticals within digital, they get this. They are sharing more. They're more open with each other. They open APIs to competition. They open source technology. share best practice, because they understand by doing this, they create a stronger digital ecosystem and one from which they can all benefit from being a part of. And if we want to thrive in the same way, we must start doing the same. But why now? Our industries always move quickly, from regulatory updates, new market entry requirements, new innovations, new integrations. It's what populates those overcrowded roadmaps. But we've just about managed. And I think we managed because ultimately we're all running at the same pace. No one's really delivering any better than the next person. But it's changing. 18 months ago, we got blindsided by the world's worst pandemic. It sent our workforce home, pushed offline players online. It's caused markets to regulate at a rate we've never seen before. And all this has done is acted to combine in putting more and more pressure on our tech and IT teams, put more onto those already overcrowded roadmaps. The pandemic has really acted to supercharge the need for improved digital delivery. And if that's not enough, there's the US. The US is now changing everything, regardless of the market you operate in. Whether you want to operate in America, do, or ever will, it doesn't really matter. The rate at which the states are regulating is acting to normalize gambling to the masses. It's putting us truly as an entertainment business in the eyes of those outside of gaming. We've got big media companies buying in, sports groups fighting for a slice, companies going public daily. We are going mainstream, but so therefore is our competition. And here lies the greatest push factor for change, to work better together, to improve our delivery, as we've got some serious challenges now setting their sights on our space. Cast your minds back 2 years, almost to the very day. It was at this event someone else stood up and said the following.
But who might disrupt us? This is kind of a fun question. What if we went to the future, came back, and we said, hey, we all lost the race. Guess who beat us? That should terrify you. Suppliers and operators alike. It's not happening, but it should terrify you.
Todd's prediction was 2 years ago, and I hope you listened. Yes, it's not Amazon, but there's others. This was 3 weeks ago. Disney have a market cap of over $300 billion. Put that in perspective to our market. The Aristocrat deal is announced to be, around $3 billion? $300 billion. That's a heck of a lot of firepower. And they're really, really good at using it. In under 2 years, Disney Plus grew to a subscriber base of over 120 million. If we're to compete, to defend our position, our market as we know it today, we must improve. So to support that change, to hopefully encourage it, I'd like today to introduce you to flows.
Imagine flowing, being in the groove constantly, knowing that at all times your team has the power to turn ideas into actions, without business case distractions or coding factions, just ease and speed, and a genuine chance, need, to reach your potential, to be your best. Innovate, accelerate, react to any test. Because without legacy tech and overcrowded roadmaps in the way, we can be free-flowing digital heroes every single day. So, heroes, how does it work for you? Well, imagine building features without having to join a queue or write a request. Imagine seamlessly connecting your systems and data while entering new markets. Imagine integrating a new third party, customizing real-time data ingestion, and building a dashboard to report it, and you don't even code. No need to imagine. That's Flows. So, keep doing things the same old way, or just flow it. Flows, the innovation platform that sets your ideas free.
Flows can be our iGaming IKEA, a true self-service platform for innovation and digital empowerment. We can help you to supercharge and accelerate delivery, encourage sharing through our open and agnostic platform, and ultimately enable more to do more. We work quite simply by ingesting any API, any data stream you pointed us, Kafka, RabbitMQ, whatever you have, you pointed at us, Flows listens, and then it allows you to customize that information. It allows your teams to build applications, features, in minutes instead of months. We can, yeah?
Did you just say minutes instead of months? I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry.
You can build application with Flows in minutes.
I've known you for a long time, and if you said days instead of months or weeks instead of months, it would have been totally fine. But minutes instead of months is quite a claim. So I hope you don't mind. But we took the liberty of setting up this laptop over here, and I don't know if you want to volunteer to code or you got a colleague in here who's good at coding, because minutes instead of months. I mean, we have some minutes left of the presentation. Can you make something that's going to be?
Let me see if Mike will come up.
Yeah, you can
Mike,
phone a friend.
CTO. Let me phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Mike.
With 5 minutes left, the
Mike,
fastest we have. Mike, can you step up?
Okay, no pressure, Mike, but we want you to build something. Yeah, round of applause for Mike.
Come on, Mike.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Good man. Well volunteered. My goodness. So Mike is now going to build something that would normally take months in 5 minutes. Tell us a bit about what you're going to do. Talk us through it, Mike.
Sure thing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually write a flow, which is going to listen to the game spin event on a production site. And if you get 3 losses in a row on a game spin, it's going to pop up an offer. Give me some free spins. Wow. Okay, so you're looking at the screen.
You dive in there.
Absolutely.
You do your thing. The clock is ticking. I don't want to distract you too much. But on the other hand, it's a good demonstration of his skills as a coder. Or you're not coding, is it?
No, it's drag and drop. It's all drag and drop functionality. So this is listening to a stream. This is listening to a Kafka stream from Pragmatic Systems in this case. And all we're going to do is we're going to tell it to add some blocks in. So to begin with, we're going to have to filter out 3 game losses. So what we want to do is work out if we are actually a loss. To work out if you're a loss, well, it makes sense to have a look at the win amount. Oh, and before I do that, I actually need to tell it to listen to the game event. So this is transaction fund. This is your Kafka stream. Just listen to it, and it works out everything you have. So we come into the win event. We type in, what do you want to listen to? There is a field called win amount. It's prompting you on the screen. You have this amount. And we're going to say, is it greater than 0? Greater than 0, you've won something. If it equals 0, you haven't. It's nice and simple. If you haven't won anything, what we want to do is save some data. So all we're going to do here is just save a bit of data against this user. Now, in pragmatic speak, they use the term ECRID. That's the user ID. So you just have to type it in. There it is. I will use the ECRID. That's the name. And give this piece of data a name. Loss. And what do you want to do? I want to add 1 to it. That's simple. So now every time the player has a loss, we increment the data. Let's add another filter in here. Click Filter. What are we looking for? Well, the system's clever enough to learn that we've got loss. We've just defined it. Here it is, along with all your data. But we've just defined loss. And what we're going to say is, are you greater than or equal to 3? So now, are we bigger than 3? Yes, we are. What are we going to do? Well, go into custom. I'm not going to do anything with pragmatic. I'm going to send a message. We're integrated with Gist, which is a system to send back real-time to the user. What are we going to type in here? Well, we're going to send a message. This is, of course, bad luck. Bad luck is something that's been set up in the translation engine, so it's actually on the front end. We have to tell it who to send it to. It's going to go to the ECRID. And a message, claim, it's going to put it onto the button. It translates it on the fly. One last thing before we send this live. What happens if you win? Well, you need to save data. What we need to do is reset the count again. So we come back in, tell it that for this user ID, I want you to reset the key loss, which is what we called it before. Oops, spell it correctly. And set it to 0. Time to live, just tell it to live for 30 minutes, so it resets everything after 30 minutes. That is a flow. That's a very simple one. I literally save it. I now action it by hitting the enable button. That is live on production right now. I know you don't believe me, so we're going to go and play it. This is Live Casino Friday. I'm just logging in. Up it pops. Let's go play 7 piggies. Let's hope the internet's good, and let's hope I don't win free spins. This is going to be embarrassing.
If you win,
if I
it's
win,
drinks
please.
on you, Mike.
Here we go. So, win 1. Please be a loss. It is. Let's be another one. Okay. It's not often you want to lose, is it? So here we go. Third one. Let's hope and pray it works out. It did. OK, so now the system's sending the message in the background, and up pops. I'm hoping. There we go.
Whoa.
Your bad luck crowd. That's actually on production live now.
What? Round of applause, please. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Wow.
We can do more, can't it, Mike?
Of course,
I mean, this is one example of what flows can do.
Of course, you can do authentications, you can do risk and fraud analysis, you can actually check your payment providers are up and running. You can do all sorts of things.
Connect your systems, deliver true omni-channel.
Absolutely.
If you think it, ultimately you can flow it. But if you want to come and test us, we've got a stand here. We're there for the next 2 days. So think of something and ask us to demo it, and we'll get it live for you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you for your
round
time.
of applause for James and Dave from Flows. Absolutely amazing.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Well done, Mike.
That was
Thank you.
fantastic. My God, absolutely brilliant. Mike on the keyboard there. Wonderful stuff.